Okay. Assalamu alaikum, my friends. Oh! Okay, that wasn't good. So I have this little attachment. Okay, so I think that's good. Yeah, I want to talk about something. The importance of shadow work. It's not very much thought about in our society. We're not encouraged to shed light on the gray areas of our lives, and the gray areas of our lives are where the most misconceptions are. Okay, and the more gray areas you have, those become darker and darker, and it becomes a place you don't even go, because that area, the void, is being filled by something that you have attributed outside of yourself. And that's exactly what shadow work is, recognizing that you are the shadow, but you are also the light, and you are also the consciousness that controls those two, and realizes things. So basically, shadow work it starts at a very mundane level. You know, we all have shadows in the physical. We all have shadows, but it's like, have you thought why we have shadows? Because the light can't pass through us. But it's like the shadow is us. That is the essential part of you, and the shadow is always there with you. And if you're scared of your shadow, if you're scared of that dark part of you, and you don't want to approach it ever, then that shadow is going to take you over, and you'll avoid those places, and the shadow becomes so big that it's like it's overtaking your life. You have to avoid the shadow parts. You avoid this person because they bring out this fear in you. You avoid this situation, so you never do these things at this time, you know. And it's like you limit yourself into a shell that isn't allowing the seed that is within it to expand, which it is itself, because it's identified only separate than the seed. See, it's identified itself as separate than the seed. And shadow work is basically facing your reflection and facing that part of you that you have allowed to fester from an itch to a, infection. That part of you that you are suppressing and you're not even facing it. It is becoming a poison that is changing your whole reality, making you sink further and further into quick fixes, which are very bound to the physical illusion, and you're even getting more and more separate than the seed that is within you, the light that is in you. It's getting more and more covered up by this illusion set material, Satan thoughts of you're not good enough, or this person is going to hurt you, and these things always control you. You're a victim. If you're a victim, you have to have somebody that victimizes you, and then you retell that story to yourself over and over again. And shadow work is something so important. It's like literally quieting your mind, and a lot of people don't want that quietness, because that's when the thoughts that they avoid are going to come up, and then they suppress those thoughts by going online or just watching TV, or being around certain people that help that delusion of their sunken reality exist more and more, because birds of a feather flock together. People think alike that hang out in a group, and it's like you have to. There's so many tools, there's so many tools for us to, in our own spiritual system. Yeah, we avoid the truth, and the thing is, what the shaitan, the devil, that part of you that keeps you at a lower state of existence, that part of you that makes you always make the wrong choice when it was your choice, it was your willpower, but you made the wrong choice because you were governed by that quick fix, the quick dopamine release, whatever that may be. It could be from yelling at somebody, and I don't know what it could be, whatever that keeps you asleep. Oh gosh, I forget what I was saying. But that part of you, that devil part of you, it's like you, in the end, are responsible. And it's like there's tools. Yeah, I was saying there's tools available, and all the spiritual systems, because they all in the end are saying the same thing, But dogmatically, the different people in different regions have kind of become identified to the shell, like how we have identified to the things in the illusion, with labels, and those labels that we take upon are defined by not you, by somebody else. And if you don't know the meaning of it and where that label came from itself, then it's like you don't understand almost the spell you're under, You have to get back to the root of everything, because it's deep. But anyways, Ramadan is one of those times, because the energy is really condensed into where people aren't committing those major sins, even the ones that are very weak Muslims in cultural understanding of Islam. They don't. They do all these things outside of Ramadan, but in Ramadan they don't drink, or they don't go to the bar or the club, or some don't go to the movie theater, the better Muslims, quote unquote, and then the other ones, they don't even watch TV, and it's like in Ramadan they let go of things that keep them kind of like in this really deep hole within themselves. What I'm saying is, like, some people can be so deeply entrenched that their satisfaction comes from going to the bar, right, and drinking. That's like they're even deep, that they're deep in that valley, right? They're deep in that hell, and some people, it's like it's a movie, it's a movie, it's a drama that they stop watching, but it doesn't make it. It's like that person, that's what they're tested with, that level of, but maybe for that person that's tested with the drama, they couldn't even handle what that person that's going to the bar every weekend, their reality. If that person was tested with that, then it would be not unique to their reality. It's just everybody has their own challenges and their own thing, but it's like the reason why I can even talk about this, because growing up in America from the age of 20, I came here when I was only like 4 years old from India. I was born in India in 1979, outside of the Himalayas, maybe like 200 kilometers from the Himalayas, in some little village, and now I'm here in 50, 60 miles from LA, and it's like I grew up in Michigan. My energy is not Indian, but it's like I always avoided the root of myself until a very late age, and I hated being Ahrar, and I hated being and when 9/11 happened, I was a police officer in Detroit, Michigan, and I remember even people jokingly telling me, like, "Oh, Maud, your people did this," It's like, but then it's like I never responded with even back then I wasn't like, "Oh, we're not all the same." It's like, you know what? I know where that's coming from them, because they're in fear. They're just believing what the media says. But what I'm saying is that, like really, even in Islamically, like, you have to understand that everything that's happened to you has happened to you for a reason, and you aren't junk. You aren't worthless. You're created for a reason, because where you're created from is the creator itself. Do you understand what I'm saying? So why would the creator create junk? Why would the creator create someone that is worthless? You have a divine path, but if you don't do your shadow work, if you don't face your fears of the attachment to the dunya, face your fears about, oh, what's going to happen if I if I do this thing and I fail, yeah, you fail, fine, but you learn a lesson, right? You don't die. You're not gonna die. But it's like when you let go and let God, that kind of thing. Let go and let the higher part of you kind of let your let your body become the vessel. Let your body become the vessel of the divine. But you can't do that unless you align yourself physically and then mentally and then with the divine. You can't say that you're connected and you're doing. You almost like it's like I don't want to see the people have taken over the labels, and it's like you have to look past it. You have to look at the energy of it. People when they become too rigid in their limited understanding of Islam or any religion, when they become too rigid, then what happens is when they see other people doing something different than them, they get threatened. They get threatened because then it questions their, like, how come it's not working for them? How come they're not like this? And this person is, they must be doing something evil. Dude, there's people that don't talk to me anymore because they think I'm doing something bad. But in their limited understanding of what a Muslim is, what Islam is, they are caught in the illusion itself, and they refuse to see something that is outside of the box of which they have formed their vision and their reality from. And it's like, it's not my job. It's like when you start living the truth and your own divine path, you have a divine path. When you start living your divine path, because you've done your shadow work, you have to shed light on the darkness, the light, the nur of Allah on the darkness of your own life, and see the polarities, see that where that version of you, where you manifested that energy of being a liar, of being something low, of being something that wanted praise from this other person, so they put this person down, or they wanted to, they made their business investment, even though it was bad, because they had promises of quick wealth, so they can show their family that, hey, they're not a failure, financially. See, that vibration, the energy of that wasn't coming from, I want to spread the light of which I've been given, my energy, and allow other people's to prosper, or whatever, whatever your thing is. It's like, where is it coming from? Where is your energy coming from? Is it coming from taking it from other people, as in expecting like praises or this or that, or is it coming from the Creator? Is it coming from the beauty of looking at the creation, the beauty of the natural foods, and letting it like nourish your body, and not be eating fake food. I mean, it's all connected. The way you eat, the way you move about, the way you walk. Are you slouched? Are you like, people that are like walking like this? You have honor. You walk upright, and you walk with, not with false pride, not with arrogance, but with a, like, wow, you have been chosen to for your own path. It's not an arrogance thing. It's not like I have to save the world. People want to save the world, but they don't want to save themselves. How are they going to save the world if they don't even save themselves, man? You can't. See, that's a false attachment to not wanting to shed light on that dark part of you. And we've been avoiding it for so many years in our country and Muslim society in general. And no one's talking about the stuff I'm talking about like this. People are thinking I'm into some crazy stuff because I understand energy. I understand where, I understand why you're mad. You want to be appreciated, yes, but you are, I understand that you got hurt 15 years ago. But see, you're reliving that moment in the now. It's going to affect your vision of your reality. And that's what's going to affect your even viewpoint of Allah. It's going to be limited in that view of that person that's victimized and that's hurt all the time. That's what they're going to see. It's like you have blinds on. Okay, you have to let go. That's why you have to do the inner work, is putting light upon your demons, the demons that reside in you, that you manifest those demons of anger and of jealousy and of rage and of of sorrow, of low vibe. You allow that to live inside you, and when you put light upon that, you put light, a higher light, that's connected to the divine. And how can you be connected to the divine, that higher light, if you're so attached to the illusion itself? My battery. Okay. But shadow work. This is what Ramadan is. Ramadan is shadow work. Because you do things at night. At night you go to tawaf. At night you do the night prayers and things. It's all Ramadan is all shadow work. Don't let labels of what these words mean, what society has defined them for you. If you say this, oh, that's jinn, oh, that's black magic. No, it's not. Okay, it's not. These are sciences. These are sciences that are now, even in quantum physics, they're proving them. Now, hey, Muslims of today, you have your proof. Neil deGrasse Tyson is saying this stuff. But see, if you follow what they say, then you're not putting you're putting a law in there based on your limited perception of reality. See, plus based on what their quantum physics stuff is, you're attaching it based on that. I'm saying is that everything is spiritual. Like when you go in the car and you say a dua, some Muslims do, some don't, or you attach spirituality to the event of driving a car. But what I'm saying is everything is spiritual. You're just driving a car in that spiritual ocean. Okay? Everything is spiritual. In the spiritual moment, I am sitting here doing this video. Everything is spiritual. Because it's in spiritual. How is it surface level, or is it deep within closer to the creator of that whole existence, aligned to it? Okay, I gotta go. And stay tuned for more information, for more talks like this, because I'm going to be launching my Ramadan transformation blueprint for 2019 in about 10 days, maybe about 7 days, 9 to 7 days before Ramadan starts. And I know it's, you don't need 3-4 weeks, 1 month advanced. I mean, I'm saying is if you're really committed to change and personal transformation, then you will do what it takes. If you're just merely interested, then you'll do until you're that wall that you've created, that comfort zone, you hit it, and then you'll be like, I'm like, you don't want to pass. People don't want to pass their comfort zone, and success in the dunya and the hereafter lies outside that comfort zone, because that comfort zone does not exist. There is no such thing. Do not be trapped in the comfort zone. That's fear. That's what you get scared of, and it's like you tolerate things in your life. You tolerate weight gain. You tolerate being angered by the TV. You tolerate these things. These things are creating more empty vessels inside yourself that is being filled with the falsehood, filled with greed or some kind of like attachment. You need this food now at a higher level. You start getting diabetes. You're done with pornography, and now you're going to strip clubs. You can't do virtual anymore. Now you're going to strip clubs. Because you let that dark area expand, and it is expanding. Okay, I'm telling you, men out there, I'm telling you from personal experience. I'm telling you from personal experience, and I'm not gonna lie about these issues anymore. These are the dark areas that no one talks about. And yes, it's good to hear the Sahaba stories and all that stuff, but we have to start understanding the metaphors and applying those stories in our own lives to put the light on that illusion part of you that you've attached to the I am this kind of Muslim, or I am this person. It's deep, and it's time. The truth is like being exposed now. You can tell the truth just by looking at it. Can't you? You can. You know what? You know what? I was saying this. That you know what the devil, the shaitan, hates the most. It hates the most a person that is in their committed in their sin of their vibe, that lower vibe of their own existence, and in that state they want to change into something better, and they want to drop those bad habits, or they know that these things are bad for them, but they're trying to drop it. Anything that comes in their reality that puts light upon how to get to that level, the devil will lash out through you. You know, you start living the truth of the divine within your own life and your own personal day-to-day activities and everything you do, from how you work and how you drive your car to how you eat your food to how you pray to how you walk to how you open the door, and you do that with the mindset that you are witnessing the divine in this vessel. The higher you are and the more aligned you are and the more humble you are, not in like a way where you're a pushover, but you don't tolerate intolerance, but you don't become like, but within yourself, see, within yourself, and it's going to reflect back to you. And when you become that person and you go to a person that has a lot of darkness, they fear you. It's that story of the Sahaba and the shaitan like walked the other way, when he saw him. It's that story. It's like they lash out at you because you are putting light, your nur that Allah has given you, you are putting nur upon their darkness, and it scares them. And they lash out at you because they want to stay the same. See what I'm saying? They want to stay in that box. That's what the problem is with people now. They don't even want to look at their reflection. They just want to talk about the weather. Don't only talk about the weather, brother. Okay? Because I don't want to see that darkness within me, That's what's happening these days. And it doesn't matter. Now it's a time to put, like, look at yourself. Like you everything you wish for has happened in your life. And the things that happen that are bad, those you maybe wanted those things for a desire to be looked at as this or that, whatever label you have within yourself. You know what I'm saying? This is what Ramadan is for. It's not to recharge your iman. It's not to recharge your iman. It's to upgrade. It's to upgrade to the next level of the reality. I mean, we can have an awesome life, a life that is like free, and a life that's more aligned to the divine, and you're doing the things that you always wanted to do, Like I used to be chasing after like the options that opportunities that gave me for my nafs, for my ego, the best, so I can show my parents, okay, look, I did it, So I would be, that part of me would be hooked into some kind of idea, and then whatever red signals will be coming around me, it would be like, it's okay, it's not. It's like when you're in love, then the red signals about the person that you're in love with, they don't register, But if you were more aligned to your own personal destiny, your own personal view of your future, then everything that you do would be geared towards that highest vision of yourself. So if someone says, if someone gives you an opportunity, and you look at you feel the vibe of it, and you kind of get the feeling and the intuition, and you're like, you know what, no, I don't want to deal with this person because this person is like so messed up, Why would I deal with this person? Look at their situation. It's like, how are they going to even become successful? They're not worth the energy that we are giving them. If I see, everything is hindsight. So now, being gone through an experience like that, where I listen to that lower side of me, and then I have to see why to do that. What happened, and it's like it was my attachment to what I labeled myself as, what success is and what happiness is. But ultimately, there's nothing wrong with success. Actually, it's our birthright. But there's ways that there's people that are so that have done that personal work, and they understand their shadow, they understand like energy, and they understand the frequency, and they understand how to to get on that level. And it's like once you get to that level, it's not like they stop. It's like they stop meditating, they stop praying, they stop, their good habits of that kept them at that level. No, they don't stop. The thing is, it's a lifestyle. It becomes a lifestyle. So eating refreshing food that helps your body, gives it enzymes and things like that. It becomes a lifestyle, eating that kind of food. Sleeping at a certain time and waking up at a certain time becomes normal. Meditating and doing your prayer at night, that becomes a lifestyle. And that lifestyle allows the vessel that is you to witness those high energies, because to be at that level, it requires that lifestyle to be at that. So it's like the dunya, everything starts attracting to you, because something that is a high energy wants to be with high energy. So you become the vessel of which any high energy things that are created become a point where it wants to be witnessed by that high energy. For example, I was playing basketball this morning early, and I was talking to somebody about this, and it's like the NBA basketball, it's like it wants to be dribbled by a skilled person that has the energy of the game and the mechanics, and wants to follow the rules. It attracts that energy. So when you walk inside a basketball court at a gym, then it's like if you become the energy of Jordan, and think of that you're Jordan doing all these moves and stuff, and you actually have like the physical strength and stuff, then you can become a really good basketball player based on your own physical self, and because you embody that energy, and then that ball wants to be with that energy. See, it's like it's all about energy and magnetism, and it's like it's really crazy, but this world is an illusion. And the sciences that we have in Islam, the sciences that we have in other religions, it's based on the region, it's based on the people, and how to activate that thing that's beneath the surface of the shell. The shell is the physical, the dogmatic, the religious expression of the region, and the contents are all the same. It is just Allah. It is one creator. It is one, this world's an illusion, But that being said, we have feelings here, I'm not saying you become a hermit and you become a burden to your family. No, you recreate yourself. You think about you start activating your imagination, and think as you were when you were a child. Before you got slapped, before you got told that you have to work like a dog to earn money, and you have to burn your fingers to make money, and you have to basically really dog eat dog world. Someone told you that. Someone told you that with a slap, and with their burdens. Someone told you that with their burdens, and you took that for your own self. When you used to have a personality that you had a vision of yourself, like you'd be doing great things, you'd be this person making this deal, and it's not like you didn't know what you're doing. That you were on a yacht, and you were in some island, or you were traveling, but you can have that kind of life doing what you love. If you love making deals, then you can become an awesome salesman for these huge companies. But see, the thing is, you have to become the energy that attracts it, and in the past, as in before 2012, that time you'd have to have these connections, and these you go to this school, or Kellogg, or you went to Wharton, and you went to this, and you had to have these things. But now, with the opening of the internet and social media and the platforms available like Facebook Live, people like me, you can reach bigger audiences. You have the same potential as these huge companies do. So the field is level. Now it's about energy. What energy? The truth always has a higher energy. But the truth is like a flat. It's like a light. It's a light, and some people don't want to bring that light close to them because it's going to light their own shadow, and they're going to see the truth of their own self-sabotaging ways and the ways that they have habits within their lives that keep them at a certain level because they're fearful of losing something. They're fearful of something perceivably bad happening to that version of themselves that they have constructed. It's like you have a basket of memories of the past, and you're creating your future from that basket. What you're going to create is more of that, just at a different time frame and different physical, and the whole time you could be gaining weight. You can be, that disease can be festering into a full-blown attack on your immune system in the form of AIDS. Not AIDS, but in form of, well, maybe AIDS. But, I mean, of like cancer, that's like a dis-ease within, it'll manifest out. That's the nature of this reality. Okay, this information is tapping into that part where you can go there, go to that darkness, descend to the abyss with the string that's tied to the surface. It's tied to anchor to a big boat. And it's going to the abyss. Okay, but that in terms of us, it's tied to Allah. That string is tied to Allah, and it's anchored in Allah, the unseen, it's anchored in Jannah, where the end destination is Jannah. It's anchored there, and it's descending to the depths of your hell and shedding light upon it to fix it. And it's fixing on the way up, and it's going up and up, okay? That's kind of like what you have to look at it as inside your mind. So everything becomes a metaphor. Everything becomes a learning experience, and it's all happening in your mind. It's all happening in your mind. You see 99, in the light spectrum, the UV light spectrum, you see 0.04%, okay, of the light. I'm going to end with this in the scientific note, which is, it's a science that we've learned that aligns us with the truth of the creation and of Allah. So one of the things is our eyes don't see. We don't see with our eyes. Our eyes are just mere lenses. They refract the light. They come inside our brain like this. They crisscross, okay, and they are upside down, and they basically that light code is projected in the pineal gland, which acts like a projector to the hippocampus, which is the back of the brain, and then it activates all the different neurons and all these memories and whatever it has, and it basically reflects it back, and you feel those things. It's like in your mind. It's kind of crazy, and it's like it's really like a Matrix kind of thing. So your eyes see only 0.04% of the light spectrum. That means that right now it's point. Okay, so it's more than 0.04%. For example, because now in this darkness, I know that these people are watching. I know that, okay, there's 5 people watching, there's this, that. See, that is from the darkness. That I wouldn't know that unless that data was put into the light. See, it would be in the darkness. The light of who's watching, Zubair, Omar, okay, Corona management. I'm in the Corona Masjid, actually. Thank you for allowing me to this space to do this program that is so important. But the light is basically, so it's more things. The more data I have right here to see, the more things will be put in the light from that darkness, from the unperceived reality, because you cannot see that. That's what I'm saying. So 99.96% of light is unseen. So if all that light was seen, I would have all that data. I would it'll be like the Matrix, literally, with everything is right there inside your mind. It's like, but the thing is, with Allah, everything's there, But now you're aligning yourself with Allah because you've come from the word of Allah, or the light of Allah, That's where you come from. You aren't it, but I'm saying is you come from that, and you align yourself with that, so then you will see more of that light. And if you see, and everybody's seeing 0.04% of reality, and from that 0.04%, they're perceiving their own reality. It's like, oh, I'm a victim, I'm this, I'm that, I'm these labels. Then they're making the reality even smaller. So imagine if you even have 1% of reality you see because of these sciences that you invoke within yourself, and you understand energy, and then you see 10% and 2%, then your life will change because your perception changes. And then as you change, you're like, wow, you know what? There's no limit. So you change as a person. You're a new person. You're transformed. You're transformed into a new person, and with a new destiny, with a new energy, with a new vibe. You make your own reality once you know exactly. And why would you want to make it off deceiving people? Why would you want to make it off of harming people? Why would you want to make it off of your own people that you see around you suffering? You wouldn't. So that's why it's not like, oh, if everybody did what they want to do, then they would be doing these crazy things. No, it's like whenever you think of like heaven and Jannah, you always think of like you're doing these awesome things. Like, oh, when I'm in Jannah, I'm going to be on this yacht. It's like, with these girls, models. It's like, I don't know. That's what I thought. I'm being honest. I'm not going to lie. Okay, or driving this car. It's like that's the perception. It's like because I don't know. But now when you understand everything at this higher level, then it's like it's like you are over those human emotions. These are human emotions when we're tying it to the unseen, unknown. But when you understand where those human emotions come from, then you let go and you can kind of like transcend it. And then you even take the lower emotions and you kind of utilize that to kind of like make you stronger, not seek after it, but I'm saying is like, when somebody yells at you and you don't yell at them back, you let them yell at you, let them tell them you're this and that, because you know that you're not those things. So why would you want to defend yourself? You're not those things. So why? Okay, you're calling me this lazy. You call me a lazy person and a person that does this and that. If you're calling me that, and I know I'm not that because I'm doing these things, and I'm not going to yell at you back and say, no, I am not lazy. Oh, how dare you insult me? Oh, I'm so mad at you now. It's like that. Then I'd be getting to your level and allowing that, it's like, that means that there's a lazy part of you that is, that's defending its laziness, because if it was true, then it would change it, So anyways, I gotta go now. So you guys take care, and thank you for listening. And yeah, do the shadow work. And it's hard, but you know what? Stop living in your delusions. Stop living in your delusions. If you think you know life and you think you know the Creator, then you don't, because you don't know. You don't. If you think you know, you don't. All right. Take care, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. And stay tuned for more stuff. And please, if this is helpful, share with your friends. Why share stupid stuff? Why share these stupid news and things like that? Why? For what? Share things like this that is expanding your mind. This is light. What I'm telling you is literally light coming out of my mouth, because it's a dimension. It's a reality. It's coming out. People need these strings. This is not for me. This is like the reality, And so if it helps you, then share it. Tell your friends about it. All right? Take care, everyone. Assalamu alaikum.